Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. My name is Jack and I am a consultant at Goodman Masson. I recruit into the housing industry, specifically into asset and compliance positions. So hopefully you've tuned into some of the other webinars with my colleagues this week, but if not, don't worry, I'll take it as a compliment. But no, definitely check them out, they're very good. So today's webinar is on qualifications and productivity during COVID-19. As you probably heard over and over again, the world is currently going through quite a strange period, with many of us not working or just generally finding a lot of extra time spent in the home. Over the next 10 minutes or so, I'll be giving some tips on how to ensure your time at home is well spent, either by maximising your productivity or hopefully picking up some useful qualifications. If you have any questions, please put these on the box on the side and I will try and answer as many of them as possible at the end. Right. So the following presentation will run through qualifications, what and why. Essentially, how to work out what qualifications might be best for you. Example of 3 qualifications useful for employment. Some tips on how to maximise your productivity whilst in lockdown, stuck inside. And finally, some actions to consider during this period regarding jobs. So the first slide, what and why. Sometimes deciding on what kind of qualifications would be helpful in getting you where you want to be can be slightly difficult. So some key things to think about prior to your search are interests and passions. Are there any industries, jobs, qualifications you're particularly interested in, and what do you need to get there? Previous experience. Is there anything you've already got experience in which would give you a head start, really? Maybe you already have knowledge in something but might not have the specific qualification to back it up. Skill sets. Again, similar to previous experience, is there anything that you're particularly skilled at that you could follow up on and get a qualification in? Interesting opportunities. Have you seen or heard anything that you thought, I wouldn't mind having a go at that? And what do you need to get there to have a go at it? So in my opinion, the best way to get all these things in one place is by brainstorming and do this prior to begin your search. So have a think of all those 4 things, put them in a brainstorm, and this can really home in on what avenue you want to go down and what qualifications will be best for you. So some examples of some skills and qualifications that are typically free, but will really boost your CV. So the first one is social media. Many of you will probably already be experts in this, but might not have a qualification to back it up. Social media is now a crucial skill in business, getting your brand out there and driving people to your page. So having a qualification in this will really make you stand out to potential employers. This is available on Allison and roughly takes about 2 to 3 hours. Excel. Excel is relatively straightforward once you've got the hang of it, but it can be tricky to start with. Employers know how tricky and time consuming it can be, especially when they hire someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Having this course on your CV will likely get potential employers very interested, and arming yourself with some basic Excel knowledge will also make your first day a lot easier. You can do this directly on Microsoft and takes roughly about 6 weeks. So next one is customer services. Great customer service is beneficial across the board when it comes to employment. Doing a course in customer service helps improve communication with colleagues as well as customers and comes with potential to gain a lot of great transferable skills. This roughly takes about 9 to 11 weeks. You can do this course on Vision to Learn. The next one is starting a business. This is a versatile course and basically shows employers that you've got an entrepreneurial mind. This means that you show initiative to really see how the business works, and this can be really valuable when recruiting, especially if you want a long-term employee. You can do this at Future Learn, and only takes about 2 weeks. Final one there is basic HTML. As so much of the working world is transferring to the web, coding is probably one of the most valuable skills you can learn at the moment. You all know we're in lockdown, we're all at home. Everything we're doing is done by the web and via coding. And this can also be quite fun. So I know a few of my colleagues that are currently on furlough have been having a crack at this as well. So you can do this on Code Academy, and it's an ongoing course, so you can learn as much as you like. So the next page there is what and where, and basically these are some examples of websites you can go to find these qualifications. So you've got gov.uk/career skill training, Read, FutureLearn, Open University, and Allison, as well as some ones we mentioned previously, such as Code Academy, HubSpot, Vision to Learn, and some universities. So I'm just going to show you quickly how easy this is. Essentially, if you go on here, so you go back to the start, I'm on the FutureLearn website. So all you have to do is futurelearn.com. Then it says view courses straight away, and here you have loads of online courses that you could have a go at. Even if you scroll down, you have a subject list. So after you've done your brainstorming, you can decide exactly what subject you want to take and have a crack at there. Easy. So back to the presentation. So now that we've got some ideas of some qualifications and where to find them, the next step is to ensure we remain as productive as usual whilst in lockdown. As will be the same with many of you, I've been working at home since just before the lockdown. Although this was a little strange at first, having never worked from home consistently before, I found myself to be just as productive as when I'm in the office. So here are a few tips to follow. Create a designated workspace. Whether you're in the office or at home, having a desk set up that works for you is key. Try to create a small area at home that's dedicated space for work. This will not only help you to stay in the right frame of mind, but also create a clear separation between your work and home life. Devise your own routine. You know how you get your best work done. Now that you're not in the office, you can adapt your routine. Stick to your usual productivity times. It may be for some of you that you work better getting up a bit earlier and maybe taking a longer break, or you may prefer to work later into the evening. Some of you might be late bloomers, to say, and prefer maybe having a longer lie-in and working later into the night. This one is very important, can't stress this enough. Take breaks. Make sure to plan breaks into your day. Maybe try not to take lunch at your desk. If you can, a midday change of scenery and stretch to the legs. And basically this can do wonders for your afternoon happiness levels. Also, be sure to give yourself time to log off each day too, and turn off any work-related notifications when you're taking these breaks. Make time for virtual socializing. Don't forget to make time for non-work chats with either colleagues or friends throughout the day. Strong relationships are key for effectiveness, and these can suffer when people aren't in the same place at the same time. So get on Zoom, get on Teams, and have a chat with your friends. Finally, embrace the benefits. There are things that make your work-life balance more manageable. You may find it easier to fit in an exercise break in the middle of the day. You won't have to spend your evenings doing the washing, and you can even cook your own lunch at home. So really embrace the positives there, and this will really help working from home a lot easier. So finally, the final thing I wanted to touch on was COVID-19 and jobs as a whole, and just some things to keep in mind during this pandemic. So the first one there is keep applying. keep applying to jobs. If you've not heard back from an employer, don't wait. Keep the momentum going by applying to various jobs that match your skills, your experience, your qualifications, hopefully that you've picked up at the start. Although some companies might get back to you as soon as possible, others take a little bit longer. So don't wait on them, just keep applying to jobs. Maybe set a daily application goal and try and break it. Basically, the worst case scenario, if the worst case scenario is you've got too many interviews, you must be doing something right. Reevaluate regularly. To focus your search, review your CV, your cover letter, and the jobs you're applying to every week. Applying for several roles is good, but that doesn't mean a one-size-fits-all method works. In fact, it rarely works. Also, which is very important, make sure to ask yourself, are the jobs you're applying to a good fit for your skills, background, and experience, and anything you've picked up along the way? Final thing there is, sorry, not the penultimate thing there is tailor your CV and cover letter. This is something that Henry covered in his webinar on Tuesday. If you want to go back and have a look at that. Make a point of updating your CV and cover letter for each job application. Yes, everyone. Review the job posting, add the relevant keywords to your CV, then speak to exactly what you're looking for in your cover letter. Finally, think outside the box. You may be able to apply your skills to other jobs you haven't yet considered. Many skills are transferable between industries and positions, so really have a think about what else you could apply your skills to and other avenues that you could go down. And similarly to slide 1, maybe have a brainstorm about that. So that brings us to the end of this webinar on qualifications and productivity during COVID-19. I hope you've found it helpful. I hope you've picked up some ideas along the way and some useful tips. If you have any questions, I will try and answer as many of them as I can now. Thank you very much.